Here's some data that we got from the Mississippi Development Authority. They report that in fiscal year 2021, just 5.3% of all products and services procured by the state government came from the minority-owned businesses. The state spent more than $2.2 billion for procurement. Black firms received just over $119 million. Expenditures instituted from the higher learning, they got about, add that together, was $177 million. Those numbers are up from the previous year, but they are still quite low to begin with. So why are black businesses underrepresented when it comes to state procurement dollars? Why do you think that is?
I'm going to come back to market intelligence. And one of the things that we're doing at Jackson State is at the end of March, we're actually going to host a conference for Jackson and for HBCUs to promote understanding how to do business with the government. Because one of the things that we found is when we speak to businesses and you say, you know, you can do business with the government can be your customer, and the business owner may say, but I don't have a construction company, and I don't have a technology, and I'm not inventing anything, so why would the government want to do business with me? And we explain to them the government procures everything. The government procures food, the government procures clothing, the government procures automotive services, everything. And so when you begin to understand what the government actually buys, you begin to see yourself as a potential provider to the government. And so we're going to make an effort at the end of March, March 27th through the 29th. We call it HBCU Entrepreneurs Week, and we're going to educate Jackson, and we're going to educate the community surrounding historically black colleges and universities about what the government buys, both on the federal level and on the state level.
So it's not because the government isn't trying to do business with minority-owned businesses, because a lot of minority-owned businesses don't know what they can do with the government. Is that what we're looking at here?
Yeah, and relatedly, HOPE has a program, we call it the Supplier Diversity Program, in which we are working with small businesses throughout our Deep South state region of Alabama, Arkansas, Louisiana, and Mississippi, and Tennessee to do a similar effort. That is to train small businesses and prepare them to be contractors with the government to help with the procurement process. We also believe in a public-private partnership. We are in partnership with Hinds County to offer $3 million worth of loans and grants to small businesses to make sure they're ready to face this post-COVID reality. And so a part of that does deal with technical assistance, but straightforward, it also deals with loans and access to grants.
When you come about opportunities, is this the time to become a small business owner?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We just, at Jackson State, we just launched a Women's Business Center. And in that Women's Business Center, there are so many resources that are coming through that Women's Business Center in terms of access to financing, in terms of access to intellectual capital, in terms of how to do your business model, in terms of coaching and resources, in terms of how do you contact the government to do business with the government? How do you actually get a loan? In terms of understanding what type of businesses are actually fundable by different types of entities. So yes, this is absolutely the time to start a new business. And there's some data that is actually coming out that actually shows by McKinsey that the number of minorities that are going to be displaced by the future of work is actually going to grow. And so when we're thinking about displacement and we're thinking about where we're headed, this is absolutely the time to say, do I want to have my own business, and do I want to shape what work looks like going forward?
When you talk about being displaced by work, is that through layoffs, or why are they going to be displaced by work?
Oh, I love this topic. So the way we do work actually is changing, right? We're now an information age, we're now a technology age. So now when we say, I'm going to locate a business in Jackson and I'm going to serve my community, that community extends way beyond the boundaries of the Jackson metro area, right? Now you could sit in Jackson, whether you're doing it from a technological standpoint, whether you're using logistics, but you could actually serve the whole world, right?